how cats see humans is far more personal than most people realize. Have you ever felt like your cat understands you when you're sad or somehow knows exactly when you need comfort? Science suggests your cat's perception of you is very different from what most people think. And once you see it, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. Point 1. How cats see you. Let's start with the obvious yet deeply revealing, your cat's sight. But be warned, this isn't guesswork. All the details we are about to reveal about feline vision and cat perception come from in-depth scientific studies conducted by ethologists and animal behavior scientists. Through advanced techniques such as electroretinograms, behavioral tests, and the analysis of ocular structure, we have managed to obtain an extremely detailed and accurate picture of how our furry friends interpret the world around them. You, dear humans, live in a world of vibrant colors, sharp details, and HD resolution. You are trichromatic, which means your eyes are equipped to perceive a wide range of colors: red, blue, and green. It's like having a super expensive 4K TV with all channels perfectly tuned. But your cat? Well, their subscription is more like standard definition with a gray-blue filter. Felines are dichromatic. Specific studies, such as those conducted by Paul E. Miller and Christopher J. Murphy of the University of Wisconsin-Madison, have shown that they see blues and greens well, but reds, oranges, and pinks? They transform into dull, indistinct shades, like an impressionist work of art, but without the artistic intent. Your favorite fiery red sweater, which to mittens is probably just a grayish or yellowish smudge. So, your latest cat fashion show was a bit wasted, I'm sorry. This color blindness is a key aspect of feline vision and color perception in cats. I know many of you might think, impossible, my cat looks at me and knows who I am. And it's true, they recognize you, but not only, or primarily, by how they see you. Imagine looking at the world through a filter that dulls colors and makes contours less defined. This is your cat's world during the day. But don't think they are disadvantaged, quite the opposite. Their eyes are tuned for much more, and this has been widely confirmed by research conducted under various lighting conditions. While you stumble around in the dark like a drunken sloth, your cat is a perfectly calibrated hunting machine with night vision. This is thanks to something called the tapetum lucidum, a kind of natural mirror behind the retina that reflects light, amplifying even the slightest glimmer. It's like having a superpower to see in the dark. Experiments in very low light environments, such as those detailed by authors like R.H. Steinberg and B.J. Schmidt, have highlighted how cats can distinguish objects and movements with incredible ease, far superior to humans. So, in the evening, when you think you're invisible while sneaking out for a snack, your cat sees you clearly, probably judging your late-night food choices. This incredible low-light vision makes them excellent predators at dawn and dusk, their favorite times for hunting, and of course, for asking you for food. And the details? Well, here things get even blurrier for you. Their visual acuity is much lower than human acuity. Measurements of their visual acuity, such as those performed by researchers at institutions like the University of California, Davis, have revealed that what a human sees clearly at 60 meters away, a cat sees with the same clarity only at 6 meters. A cat staring at you from 6 feet away doesn't perceive the fine details of your face. You might smile, frown, or make a funny face. Your cat doesn't see those subtle nuances. For them, a human face at a distance is a kind of blurry blob. This also means that if you wear a mask, your cat, based solely on sight, might not immediately recognize you. The mask alters that blurry shape they are used to. But don't worry, there are other senses at play for recognition. Speaking of recognition, many wonder, what about photos? Does my cat recognize my photos? Numerous behavioral studies have sought to investigate cats' facial recognition ability from images. The short and somewhat disappointing answer is, generally no. Photos are static, two-dimensional images. They lack crucial movement, smell, and voice, which are the pillars of feline recognition. For your cat, a photo of you is just a piece of paper with colored splotches, nothing that evokes the complete sensory experience of you. So don't expect your cat to greet you from a picture frame. Identification from images is not their strong suit. What do they see instead? Movement. Oh, movement is everything. Even the smallest twitch of your hand or a furtive blink is immediately captured by their lynx-like eyes. Analysis of their motion perception, supported by studies on flicker fusion frequency, where cats far surpass humans, has shown that cats are much more sensitive to rapid changes and small variations in the environment than we are. They are masters at detecting anything that moves, a crucial ability for a hunter. And this brings us to the laser. Why is your cat obsessed with the laser pointer? Simple. The red dot is pure movement. It's not the prey they see, it's the constant, unpredictable movement that ignites their hunting instinct. For them, it's a visual feast, a constantly moving and unreachable object that stimulates their predator instinct. So, no matter how faded your image is, if you move, you exist. This feline motion perception is a superpower that compensates for their less sharp vision. In visual summary, and thanks to the detailed picture provided by scientific research, you are a tall, somewhat blurry, muted-colored figure, but constantly in motion. Your presence is defined more by dynamism than by the sharpness of your silhouette and your way of moving. But how do they know you are the source of all good and sometimes bad, like bath time? Let's move on to the next point, where their hidden senses come into play, and where all these factors combine to paint your complete portrait in the feline mind. Point 2. How cats recognize you. If your cat's sight is a bit vintage, their other senses are in immersive 4D. Their nose is an olfactory library, capable of distinguishing thousands of scents with a precision that we humans can only dream of. For your cat, you are not just a blurry figure, you are a symphony of scents. They have about 200 million olfactory receptors compared to our paltry 5 million. So when your cat rubs its head or cheeks on you, it's not just affection, it's an act of olfactory marking. They are telling all other cats, and yourselves, this human is mine. It's imbued with my scent, and also its own unique scent, which I recognize immediately. Olfactory recognition in cats is their personal GPS. This aspect has also been extensively studied, highlighting how smell is a primary sense for social identification in the feline world. Your scent is like your DNA to them. Your unique human fragrance is a mix of pheromones, bacteria, and even what you ate for breakfast. No matter if you've just showered, your cat always knows it's you. This explains why your cat might ignore a photo of you, but will recognize you instantly when you walk through the door, just by sniffing the air. Cat identification via smell is a fundamental aspect of their sensory perception. Then there's hearing. Feline hearing. While you're still trying to figure out where that annoying ticking sound is coming from, your cat has already located the ultrasonic mosquito hiding behind the curtain. They can hear much higher frequencies than us and move their ears independently to pinpoint the sound source with incredible precision. That imperceptible rustle of the kibble bag opening in another room? For your cat, it's, "My dear human, you've opened the gates of paradise." At full volume, this is cat auditory ability at its best. So, yes, they recognize your voice, they might ignore your calls, but they know perfectly well that it's you calling them kitty kitty adorable furball. They're not deaf, they're just selective. And don't believe anyone who says cats don't understand human language. A famous 2013 study published in Animal Cognition by Dr. Atsuko Saito and colleagues at the University of Tokyo clearly demonstrated that cats can distinguish their owner's voice from that of strangers, even if their physical reaction may not always be obvious. Another more recent study from 2021 in Scientific Reports confirmed this ability, suggesting that cats not only recognize their owner's voice, but also perceive different emotions in it. So yes, they know when it's you, even if they pretend not to hear you to maintain their reputation as superior, disinterested beings. Owner voice recognition in cats is another piece of the puzzle. Finally, but no less important, routine and behavior. Cats are creatures of habit. They recognize you by your actions and patterns. You're not Mark, you're the person who feeds me at 7 a.m. or the favorite chair that sometimes moves. This is why they won't react to your photo, but will be at your feet as soon as you open the fridge at mealtime. Cat's procedural memory is very strong. To recap, your cat sees you not with a single sense, but with a symphonic patchwork of information. Your blurry but distinctive silhouette, your unique way of moving, your unmistakable scent, your recognizable voice, and your predictable habits. It is the sum of all these sensory and behavioral factors that creates a complete and unique representation of you in their mind. They will never need an oil portrait to know you're there. Your cat knows you, not only physically, but through a total and complex sensory experience. But the funniest part? How they classify you in their feline family tree. Get ready to feel a little diminished, or perhaps unexpectedly elevated. Point 3. How cats read your body language. We've talked about sight, smell, and hearing, but there's another fundamental piece of the puzzle: your body language. Cats are masters at interpreting nonverbal cues, and even if they don't see every wrinkle on your face, they are incredibly skilled at reading your posture, your gestures, and your general emotional disposition. Research on interspecific communication, such as that conducted by Dr. Kristen Vitale of Oregon State University, has highlighted how cats are able to read subtle human signals. For a cat, a tense, rigid body, perhaps with crossed arms, could be perceived as a sign of tension or even a potential threat. Conversely, a relaxed posture, a calm tone of voice, and slow movements are an invitation to contact and trust. Remember, for cats, prolonged direct eye contact can be interpreted as a challenge. This is why a slow blink is so powerful. It indicates that you are not a threat and that you trust enough to lower your guard. In this sense, your cat not only recognizes you but constantly reads you, adapting its own behavior to your perceived mood. You are an open book, albeit with some blurry pages. Their ability to read human body language is crucial for cat-human understanding. Point 4. How cats predict your moves. In addition to reading you, cats are also little detectives and predictors of the future. And this is supported by studies on feline cognition that examine their associative memory and ability to predict. Your cat doesn't just recognize you by routine. It learns to predict your intentions and actions based on a series of environmental and behavioral stimuli. For example, as soon as they hear the sound of keys turning in the lock, they know you're coming home. The rustle of the kibble bag is a mealtime siren. But they go further. They learn that putting on shoes means going out, that sitting on the couch means potential cuddle space, or that grabbing the brush means a dreaded grooming session. Every one of your daily actions is a piece of a puzzle they are constantly solving. They develop a mental calendar based on your rhythms, and this makes them incredibly attentive. This is not just recognition, it's an understanding of human behavior and anticipation of actions. They are masters at understanding the sequence of events in their home environment, and you are the star of the show. So, after discovering how closely your cat watches you, reads your body language, and even predicts your next move, do you still think they're distant and mysterious, or are they starting to seem a lot more tuned in than most people realize? Tell us in the comments below. Point 5. Why cats meow at humans. And now, a curious fact that will make you smile. Most of the meows you hear from your cat are specifically directed at you, humans. Research on the ethology of domestic cats has revealed that adult cats rarely meow at each other. They tend to communicate with other felines through a complex repertoire of different vocalizations: hisses, growls, purrs, body language, and olfactory markings. The meow is, for the most part, a behavior that cats have developed and maintained specifically to communicate with us. It works a bit like a mixed language they have learned to use because they realized that we react to that sound. Kittens meow at their mothers to get attention or ask for something, and adult cats have extended this behavior to us, treating us a bit like giant, and let's face it, somewhat silly parents who don't understand their subtle feline signals. Each meow can have a different nuance. Feed me, cuddle me, open the door, I'm bored. It's their lingua franca for conversing with their humans. This specific cat-human communication is an unequivocal sign of your special interspecies bond. Point 6. How cats see humans. Here's the plot twist that will make you reconsider everything. Your cat probably doesn't think you're a different species. They don't see you as a human, but as a cat. A very large, somewhat clumsy, incredibly inefficient hunting cat, but darn good at opening cans. This perception of the owner as a cat is a fascinating theory of feline psychology. When your cat rubs its cheeks on you, the so-called head bunting or bunting, it's not just affection. It's a way to deposit its facial pheromones on you, marking you as part of its colony. It's as if they're saying, "You're one of us, even if your fur isn't shiny enough and you can't even hunt a sock." Licking you, making biscuits, or kneading with their paws. These are behaviors learned as kittens, associated with comfort and the maternal figure. Translated, you are their giant mama cat, the source of security and milk, or in your case, cat food. This strengthens the cat-human bond as a maternal bond. And the slow blink? That's the clincher. A slow blink from a cat is the equivalent of a feline "I love you," a sign of deep trust and affection between cats. If your cat gives you a slow blink, they are treating you exactly as they would treat another cat they'd trust implicitly. So, you've been accepted into the feline clan. Congratulations. Feline communication is rich in these subtle signals. And the offerings they bring you? That poor dead mouse or little bird they left at the door? They are not a gruesome gift. They are a teaching attempt. Hunting in cats is innate, and they, being good giant cats as you are, think you are incapable of hunting. So they are teaching you how to get food, bringing you their prey. It's a bit like a Michelin-starred chef bringing you a frozen pizza because you can't cook. With affection, of course, this cat-human predatory interaction is a touch of irony. So the next time you feel like the absolute master of the situation, remember, for your cat, you are just the biggest and strangest member of their family. The one who provides resources, yes, but who needs to be guided, cuddled, and sometimes taught how to get a meal. Cat autonomy and feline dominance are always present. It's a loving relationship, but with a touch of feline supervision. This perspective changes everything, doesn't it? We're not owners, we're colony companions. We are their source of comfort, security, and above all, amusement, especially when we stumble in the dark. And in this strange, beautiful way, it's an even more special bond, because it's based on a trust and acceptance that transcends species differences. The cat-human connection is unique. But there's one last point, perhaps the most touching, that cements this feline kinship. Point 7. Why your cat sees you as family. Here's the icing on the cake of your feline status. Many scientists and animal behavior experts agree that adult cats, in a domestic relationship, often see us as a kind of maternal figure or surrogate mama cat. Yes, you heard that right. Those insistent meows, those loving headbutts, those gifts on the rug. These are all behaviors a cat would have with its own mother. You are their source of food, protection, and unconditional love, just as a mama cat would do for her kittens. This feline dependence on humans is not a sign of weakness, but of deep trust. They don't think of themselves as your pets in the strict sense of the word. They think of themselves as your kittens, even if they weigh 8 kilos and wake you up at 4 a.m. for breakfast. The concept of owner is very human. For them, you are simply their mom, the center of their happy universe. The cat-guardian relationship is much more complex than simple possession. This is an immense honor, a sign of your deep emotional bond with the cat. So, the next time your cat stares at you with those emerald or amber eyes and you hear that demanding meow, remember the truth. For them, you are their entire family, their universe, their everything. And deep down, isn't that exactly what we love about them? Their unique and unexpected way of loving us and seeing us as one of their own. And once you understand how deeply your cat sees you, something else starts to make sense too. After tension, stress, or conflict, your cat may be trying to communicate in ways most people completely miss. And in the next video, those hidden signals will suddenly become impossible to ignore.